Now, it's rare that I do this, but I'm going to tell you right now, this particular story has a lot of depth to it and a lot of things that are going to get connected, and you literally have to watch the entire video to understand how all of the pieces fit together. So if you think you hit a point where you got all the information, if you haven't hit the end of the video, I promise you don't have all of it. Settle in, watch the entire video, and if you feel like I gave you bad information here and you sat it out for no reason, you can tell me in the comments and never watch one of my videos ever again. So you want a wild story? Here you got one, okay? This is gonna go deep. All right, so Drake has been brought back into the XXXTENTATION, the story about his untimely demise via people who, you don't want to say that word this early in the video unless you want YouTube to be like, never going to show this to anyone. So this story is coming back because one of the people who was convicted of this crime named Drake in the case in his new appeal. Okay, so he straight up is like, yep, Drake was a part of this entire thing. And the rapper himself said before he died, he was like, if anyone kills me, it's Drake. So that happened, right? Now, why is this happening right now? Like right now, like the last, however many hours, okay? Because something happened with Drake that is very notable as of 2 days ago that I think very likely impacts this. And so what we're talking about there is this story right here. So Drake is in the process of suing Universal Music Group. And when you go through this case, you're like, is this, because this is from 3 days ago. You go through this case. This sounds very, very familiar to another case, which is this one right here, which was the Sean Diddy Combs and Diageo, or however you pronounce that. That's like the beverage company, one of the biggest beverage, I think it is the biggest beverage distribution company in the world, owned by BlackRock. And Diddy sued them, got in a really nasty beef with them. And, their relationship, very similar, right? Diddy was, in business with them kind of under the umbrella. He sued them. I'll go through exactly what happened. And then all of a sudden he gets raided by Homeland Security very soon after that, right? And what he was suing them for and the approach that he took, very similar to what Drake is doing with UMG. I don't know what Drake is doing. I have no idea what he's doing. This lawsuit that Drake is doing is insane. Actually insane. And it looks like he might even be going harder than Diddy did in the way that I'm going to lay out. Diddy sues these guys and then he ends up getting, indicted. And then this thing happens with Drake. And then all of a sudden he's brought back into some closed case that happened 5-6 years ago out of nowhere. Now he's named as he's named by one of the defendants in an appeal. It's like, are these two things connected? So that is what we are going to talk about. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not done it yet. That's all I ask. If you're going to watch my content, subscribe to the channel. And that is what we do here. Don't steal the candy. All right. So let's start right here. Okay. Let's just watch just a really quick super quick thing about this story about Drake getting brought back into this investigation.
Because you were an essential part of that crime. When you went to spend that blood money on sneakers and jerseys, you revealed to the court the value you place on the human life that was taken.
One of the men convicted in the 2018 murder of rapper XXXTENTATION is now appealing his conviction, and his legal team is focusing a lot of their attention on a major celebrity, Drake. We are going to explain the connections and the arguments as we sit down with Mauricio Padilla, the attorney for the convicted killer, Dedrick Devon Williams. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
All right. So that is the high level breakdown. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to go through Drake's lawsuit against UMG and then go through Diddy's lawsuit. Compare the two. UMG, Universal Music Group, who do you think owns them? You know what I mean? And then these guys owned by BlackRock. These are the most powerful people in the world. Vanguard and BlackRock combine to, I think they control something like $24 trillion in assets. It's ridiculous. This is why Drake is suing UMG. This is absolutely insane. Okay, so the real reason Drake is taking legal action over the Kendrick Lamar track as he sues Universal Music for illegal tactics. So again, this is coming back to the diss track where it's certified, you know what I mean? Like a song a million, billion, trillion people have listened to, right? A trillion people listen to it, you guys. A trillion. You know, put in the comments if you think there are a trillion people on Earth. I'm just kidding. But so it's like, dude, take the L. All right. You shopped for girls on, high school basketballstars.com. And eventually, after years and years and years of creeping on, teenage girls, you got called out, dude, in a diss track. Oh, geez. And people jumped on it because you were the biggest rap star in the world. People like to see the big guy fall. And apparently he's not taking it very well. So listen to this. Drake chose to sue Universal Music Group over Kendrick Lamar's hit diss track Not Like Us over fears that his rap rival could perform the song at next year's Super Bowl. That's interesting. I don't think, generally speaking, that the Super Bowl would look very highly on Kendrick saying the words certified penderhorn. You know what I mean? I'm just going out on a limb that they probably wouldn't have had that line in the song if he did, in fact, perform it. So Canadian rapper stunned fans this week as he filed legal documents again, yada, yada. Okay, so Drake alleged that the music monolith implemented the use of bots and a payola scheme in its efforts to push the single, which was released this May, according to TMZ Hip Hop. First of all, look like a little bit more of a sore loser little bitch. You know what I mean? Like you're literally suing your own label. UMG is his own label. They are like above, like he is under UMG. He's suing them because he lost a rap battle really, really badly. You know what I mean? But that's not why this is so potentially inflammatory for him in a way that they would put massive repercussions on him. So the Grammy-winning hitmaker claimed the information provided to him from an inside source indicated that UMG breached FCC statutes in engaging in the practice of payola. Now, insiders have revealed that Drake was also concerned about, who cares about the Super Bowl? The Super Bowl thing is who cares? I'm literally just going to skip all of that because that doesn't matter. Okay. So the UMG does not plan to cut ties with Drake. Of course not. He's a cash cow. Now, here's where we get into the meat of this thing, okay? Drake filed legal papers Monday in Manhattan via his Drake's Frozen Moments LLC, claiming UMG breached state law in its conduct, specifically the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. He is literally calling UMG an organized crime group. He's suing them, claiming RICO. Okay? You know how big of a deal that is? Like this is the law that's used to send people to prison for 50 years when you can't pin a specific crime to them in many cases. Okay, so anyway, so they're suing them for RICO, his own record label. The legal filing Drake submitted is considered a pre-action under state law, which calls for a probe prior to a full suit being filed. So he's asking for a probe into their business practices. This is his record company, okay? Because here's the thing. Listen to what he accuses them of, and geez, let's see if this sounds like something that maybe Drake has had happening for him for the last 15, 20 years, okay? Because that is what I'm implying. That's why I think that they would potentially literally eviscerate him, is if he is exposing tactics that they used to make him who he is, and then when he gets upset, he goes and exposes all of it and sues them over it when they did it for someone else. That's what I think is going on here. The first-person shooter performer, whose full name is Aubrey Drake Graham, claimed UMG made covert payments to many organizations, including radio stations, to play and plug the diss track aimed at him. Oh my God, shocker. The record label paid radio stations to play the song. That's got to be the first time anyone's ever done that. You know, if that's illegal, because here it says, has a checkered past. Drake said in legal docs that UMG has a checkered past in regards to payola, also referred to as pay for play. So he's accusing them of paying people to play that song, which is for sure something that they did for Drake, if this is something that they do. His legal team said in court docs that UMG conspired with and paid currently unknown parties to use bots to artificially inflate the spread of Not Like Us and deceive consumers into believing the song was more popular than it was in reality. How do you know about that? And you're like, hey, how'd you know about that, Drake? He's like, well, an insider told me. You're all, that insider wouldn't have been you, would it? Like the insider wouldn't have been you being really butthurt that you got smashed in this diss track. And you're like, I'm so upset that my brain doesn't work, and I am going to actually accuse them of what I've been doing with UMG for the last 25 fucking years or whatever. Okay? Drake said that an insider told him that UMG executives also authorized the spending of funds on bots to boost Not Like Us' Spotify totals, garnering 30 million streams. Again, an insider told him. An insider told him that. Sounds like an insider that really knew the game told him some things, unless he's the one. And so as a conspirator, he is now mad and separating and then exposing them, which in my opinion, the gloves are off, dude. You want to pin you want to put him into a murder trial to, further wreck his career or whatever. That seems like fair game. Or maybe it's a warning shot. They're like, maybe you didn't hear about what we did with Diddy. You want to sell right next to his guy? You think we can't? Do you really believe that? You think we can't do it? Feel like you got a history of some questionable behavior with some young girls. You want Diddy's life? According to the filing, UMG Brass also paid influencers to push the single and allegedly ignored enforcing copyright requirements via social media in an effort to make the track go viral. Who cares, Drake? Who cares? It's a great song. If you can't at least admit the song's awesome, like the song went viral because it's a great song. I have listened to that. Like I don't listen to like current state rap, dude. I really don't. And I listen to that song a bunch because the song is fire. So like, oh, they're just bribing people. That's the only reason that people heard it. It's like, I mean, you have seen like entire stadiums of people singing the words. How do they learn the words? Because bots watched it? The fuck are you talking about? So the Family Matters vocalist, whose own music is distributed via UMG, said that the goal in filing the lawsuit was to audit the label in their alleged payments to iHeartRadio and its affiliates. Oh my God, dude. He is waging war against a fucking behemoth. He's out of his goddamn mind. These dudes do not understand the reality of their world, dude. You are a superstar and everyone kisses your ass, and even these big wig, finance guys kiss your ass because you're a big celebrity. But they have an agreement with you that you clearly don't understand. They can destroy you in 1 second if they decide to. You have the platform that you have because they decided to give it to you. You have to be talented, of course, but they can take it away as easily as they gave it to you. This is insane. This is a kamikaze mission that he is on. Okay? Drake told the court that details in regards to that issue could be the foundation of a civil fraud and racketeering suit against UMG and their collaborators. He said the facts he can already prove could support a defamation lawsuit against UMG. It's insane. This is insane. This is over a diss track that he's unhappy a bunch of people heard. He is burning his entire career to the ground, burning bridges with people. The absolute top of the list of people you do not burn bridges with, because somebody lit him up in a rap song after he's gotten in how many rap battles? 10 billion? This is fucking crazy. Drake's legal team noted that UMG in May of 2006 paid a $12 million fine to the New York State Attorney General to settle a probe into whether or not the company had used payola tactics to boost the music of artists. So we're literally acknowledging that his distribution company has a history of doing this. And then he's coming out and suing them because another song that he didn't like went too big. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. It says among those UMG paid to promote 18 years back included artists such as Ashley Simpson, Brian McKnight, Nick Lachey, among others. And I'm sure Drake wasn't one of those, as soon as he hit big, like I'm sure they didn't do that for him. Anyway, so they responded and said no amount of contrived and absurd legal requirements in this pre-action submission can mask the fact that fans chose the music they want to hear. That's a fact. It has hit 914 million plays on Spotify and is tied for third place on the rap streaming songs chart. This dude is a moron. I mean, I just straight up. This guy is an absolute imbecile. Okay? Now, listen to this, though. So, Diddy, when he sued his parent, his alcohol parent company, okay, it's similar because, the Drake one makes no sense. Like, the Drake one makes no sense. He's upset that a song went too big, and so he's suing his own label. Like, are you out of your mind, dude? That's absolutely insane. Okay? Now, listen to this. Sean Diddy Combs and Diageo have resolved all their disputes. Both parties announced on Tuesday morning, apparently ending long and complicated legal battle wherein Combs alleged the liquor giant had not supported marketing agreements involving Ciroc and De Leon tequila. The parties announced in the resolution in a brief statement severing their business ties. Now check this out. This is when? January 16th, 2024. Watch this. Diddy raided by Homeland Security. Let's see when that happened. March 26th, 2024. Okay? So again, let's just make sure we get those dates right. They got raided on March 26th. They ended this 2 months prior to that. Okay? And now what Diddy accused them of was he accused them of racism and all kinds of other crazy freaking nonsense. They're owned by BlackRock, dude. They're owned by BlackRock. So if you took a tactic that they taught you and you guys have worked together, which is control the masses by leveraging, calling people racist, calling corporations racist, they have to do what we say if we call them racist, and then you turned around and used that against the people that taught it to you or that you've like collaborated with them on it, you know, they're like, all right, let's destroy this guy. And then guess what? They come to you. My guess would be, hey, they came to him and they were like, are you sure you want to push forward with this? Because here's what we have on you. You know, since we know Diddy had so much dirt that, I mean, it's hard to even imagine the number of ways they could have scared Diddy into dropping this case. So they end up severing their business ties. And then Diddy, you know, is now, and they're like, okay, cool. Yeah. So we just like, it's all over. You know, I guess we're just going to call it quits. And then dude, you know what these people are like? Right? Like they're going to be like, so what should we do about the, you know, they probably put an investigator on him. That's how they got the dirt. And then they're like, what are we going to do with this? They're like, bury him. You know what I mean? Bury him. That is, I mean, at least in my opinion, if I had to guess, that's probably the origin of how this actually happened, how he ended up getting indicted, how he ended up getting raided, and how this ended up, like, what was a triggering point that led to the start, you know, of this Diddy case. So again, I don't think that is a far off, you know, conspiracy theory given the time frame, right? And the fact that he had been doing this shit for 30 fucking years and no one had ever come after him at all. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere, he's just getting every single thing he's ever done is getting exposed. That's what I always said. I'm like, he pissed someone off. Like someone made this happen. Someone that's in that other echelon of people. See, like Diddy thought he was at the upper, like the top echelon. And it's like, you're not. Like, you're not. You're nowhere near that, dude. They can just crush you like that. And they did. So he must have gotten bold with the wrong person and, you know, coupled with this betrayal. They see it as a betrayal. We made you. We made you. And this is what you do. So now we'll unmake you. And we'll take everything that you might have had otherwise. And now Drake is doing the same thing. And then he gets named in a murder investigation 2 days later. So you do that math. I don't know, man. If you think that that's unrelated, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it might be unrelated. Seems like a mighty serious coincidence to me, though. So that's what I got today. Subscribe to the channel. Ring the bell. Bye-bye.